get you down and you're feeling lonely, when you can't find your truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the scars that we see just make us stronger. We breathe it in together, hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here, and you and me, love lives here. My soul breaks free, so excited to be united with you, where love lives, where love lives. When life gets you down, you can't see the future, when it all seems too much for you to handle, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together, hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here, and you and me, love lives here. My soul breaks free, I'm so excited to be united with you, where love lives, where love lives. You sing it now, ready? Love lives here, and you and me, love lives here. My soul breaks free, I'm so excited to be united with you, where love lives, where love lives, where love lives. Thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning, Riverside Center Spiritual Living. My name is Neil Hayner. I am a licensed spiritual practitioner and ministerial student extraordinaire here at our beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. I'm grateful to be serving as your guest host this morning, as Reverend Jeffrey is taking a Sunday off and celebrating the anniversary with his beloved. We here at the Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, Gabrielino Tongva, Kizh, and Luiseno peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly on this land. We recognize our oneness so that we decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God intended, in harmony with nature and with one another. We can say good morning to those of you that are joining us online and on our live stream this morning. Make sure that you hit that like button, share, and start a watch party. Let people know where you are getting your inspiration from this morning, and share your love of our community. We have an amazing guest speaker this morning coming up, our very own Dr. Naima Powell. We'll be seeing her in just a few minutes, but first we're going to get everybody up and moving with some amazing music. So I'm going to turn it over to Jubel.
Thank you. All right, y'all have to help me. I'm alone up here without my band. So this is Welcome to the Temple. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. No, you don't have to hesitate. Come on in and sit down. I saw you peeking through the window. I bet you wonder just what's going on. So quit your sneaking around. This is where you belong. So open up the doors now. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, just come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You don't have to hesitate. Come on in and sit down. Now did you notice all the love around you? Hear the voices raised in song. I hope you see yourself dancing and singing along. So let your body move now. Welcome to the temple. Welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to hesitate. Come on in. Welcome to the presence. Welcome to the family. You know you don't have to worry, just come on in. Come on in and sit down to the beat now. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Sing it with me. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the temple. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the temple. Yeah, yeah. Come on in and sit down. Sit yourself down. Good job, you guys. Thank you. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me. Here in the stillness of this quiet hour, sweet words of wisdom fill my ears. Your words like water keep my soul sustained. Let them rain, let them rain. Oh, oh. Peace, light, love in me. I hold your presence here inside of me. I rest in knowing you are here. Higher than 1,000 stars across the sky. How you shine, how you shine. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me. Peace, light, love in me.
Good morning. My name is Amber Holland, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Tomorrow, Austin and I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room behind the lobby. Please do not leave here with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you and absolutely know that prayer works. Please join me in consciousness. If everyone can just close their eyes, taking a deep breath in and out, resting in that still place, that perfect place where there is only God, where there is only Spirit. It is the truth of who we all are. It is the never-ending wisdom and clarity of every sage, every poet, every author. It is the love in a child's eye. It is the awe-inspiring beauty of a sunrise and a sunset. It is everything and everyone. It is the name that I call God, Yahweh, Elohim, Adonai, Mother Earth. It is everything good and perfect and so much more. And I know that everything that I am, every part of me, every breath that I breathe, is the breath of God. And as I know this for myself, I know this for every single person within the sound of my voice and beyond, that we are connected to spirit always, united in every way. That every cell, every muscle, every fiber of our being is made of pure and perfect spirit, that we are never alone, that God walks with us, hand in hand, in front of us, besides us, within us. And I bless this morning knowing that this is a divine appointment, that we could be no place else. I bless our musical ministry, Jabel, knowing that she is the voice of God, that spirit works through her. She is the symphony of the divine. I bless our technical support, knowing that they are the hands of God. I bless each and every practitioner here and not here, knowing that they too are vessels of spirit, grounded in all that God is. I bless Reverend Victoria, knowing that she is also the truth. I bless Rev Jeff, our beautiful minister, and Ed, knowing that they are in the perfect place right now, surrounded by God, grounded in truth. And I bless our beautiful guest minister today, Dr. Nahima Powell, knowing that she is the truth, that she is a vessel, that her voice is the voice of God, her heart is the heart of God. I bless her message, knowing that it will touch us all, that we may leave here full, that we may leave here knowing the truth of who and what we are, that we may leave here knowing that we can arise and emerge to the truth of who we have always been, the love of spirit. And I humbly, graciously, and joyously let this be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Renew your faith, renew your love, renew the strength you thought you lost, renew the good, renew the peace within your broken heart. Oh, renew the light, time to forgive, renew the you, renew your truth, renew your life, stop all the fight, embrace new heights, and give in to the lightness of a brand new you, to the brightness of what you can do to the world when you share your kindness. Renew your hope, time for a change, time to be clear, let go of pain, renew the you, be all you can be, take time to breathe, oh, open your heart to all you are, renew the love, a brand new start, renew your life, stop all the fight, embrace new heights, and give in to the lightness of a brand new you, oh, to the brightness of what you can do to the world when you share your kindness. Renew your faith, renew your love, renew the strength you thought you lost, renew the good, renew the peace within your broken heart, renew the light, time to forgive, renew the you, renew the truth, renew your life, stop all the fight, embrace new heights, and give in to the of a brand new you, to the brightness of what you can do for the world when you share your kindness. Renew, time to renew you.
Aren't we blessed with amazing practitioner? Between the invocation and the music, I'm already feeling full, so I'm ready to overflow. Thank you, Jabel. Let's come together in consciousness for a moment to say our focus statement together. And in the tradition of Reverend Jeffrey, we're going to say with all the C's. That's commitment and consciousness and clarity and community and I said consciousness. All right, let's begin. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. And now I'm happy to reintroduce you to Dr. Naima. She is a board-certified family practice physician who uses an integrative approach in her practice of medicine. She has had extensive training in psychology as a marriage, family, and child therapist, and she is also a master in etheric healing. She is a licensed spiritual practitioner emeritus, having practiced for 27 years. She has a deep regard for the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs of people of all ages, from newborns to geriatrics. She is a lecturer and workshop facilitator on the topic of spirituality and the practice of medicine. And Dr. Naima's mission is to add to the quality of one's life and overall well-being by emphasizing the importance of healing the body and mind through spirit. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Naima Powell.
I'm humming as I'm coming up here, and I didn't realize my speaker was on. So, thank you. Thank you. I'm really grateful to Reverend Jeff for asking me to just give my insights on this theme of the month of August, which is Pause for Guidance. The topic that he chose for me was Rise and Emerge. And when I first heard that, and I went on the practitioner side, I saw August 29th, Dr. Naima Powell, Rise and Emerge, and I said, oh, no. Because I know for me, Spirit usually wants me to have some experience in whatever I'm getting ready to speak on. So Rise and Emerge is like, what now? What am I going to have to go through for this topic? And then I realized, wait a minute. This is why you asked to speak earlier in the year in the first place, because you were going through some stuff. And you called him and said, I really need to use my voice. I need to speak. And that was because they had thought that they saw a lesion on my vocal cord. And when I went to the ENT and he looked, he said, well, I don't see anything. And I'm thinking to myself, you're not going to see anything. So waited a few months, did the other CAT scan. Something there. So I went to another ENT who said the same thing. There's nothing there. We don't see anything. So I immediately called Reverend Jeff and said, I need to speak. Spirit is telling me I need to use my voice. So this is why I'm here. And I am grateful. I'm going to sound a little hoarse because I'm still rising above whatever this is. And I know that speaking out will help heal whatever this is. Okay. Rise and emerge. Such a powerful powerful statement. And what it says is that there is within us a presence, a Christ presence, a universal presence, a power that we can use, that regardless of what the circumstance is, we can use that power to rise above it. So the last 3 years for me have been challenging on some physical levels. And what happened back in 2019, way before this pandemic stuff was going on, I was at work and I finally said to my staff, do me a favor, call Dr. Amin for me. And she came back, said, they want to know what patient is about. And I said, tell them it's for me. And she looked at me and she said, okay. And she went back. Now, Dr. Amin is the cardiologist, one of the leading cardiologists in the area. So when I got on the phone with him, I said, okay, so this is what I'm experiencing. I have shortness of breath. I'm getting chest pain. I can't go up the stairs to my house anymore. I get halfway there and I can't make it the rest of the way. And for the last couple of months, I can't go from my office to my car without getting short of breath. So he says, well, Dr. Powell, I think you know what we need to do. We're going to do this angiogram. And I said, sure. Next month, I have a week off for Thanksgiving. And he said, okay, we can do that, blah, blah, blah. Now, what I didn't know was that the LVN that I had told to go call him was standing at the door listening. So when I hung up, she comes in and she said, so what's going on? And I tell her. And she said, oh, okay. So I take my computer, go start seeing patients. And she's standing at the nursing station watching me. So went to another room. She's still there, came out, and she's gone. But the other medical assistant is standing there watching me. And I think I must have given out some kind of sigh or something, because when I come out of that room, they're all huddled together. So I go into my office, and I look at my phone, and I missed a call from the cardiologist, 3 calls. So I called him back, and he said, you know, your staff is burning up my phone. And they said that you're not doing well. So I'm going to meet you at the hospital. And I've already talked to Dr. Salman, and he's like one of the leading interventional cardiologists in the area. He's cleared his schedule. Oh, I forgot I can take this off up here, huh? Whew, I can breathe. So, and he cleared his schedule, and he'll meet us down there. And I'm telling him, you know, we already planned for next month. I'm okay, blah, blah, blah. And he said, tell it to your staff. I'm not dealing with them. I'll meet you in the ER. So I talked to Winnie and said, who called Dr. Amin? And she looked and she said, weren't me. So the next thing I hear is my office manager and her click, 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 click coming down the hall. And if you've been to my office, you know that click, 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 click. So she says, come on, let's go. Where are we going? We're going to the ER. No, we're not. I've made arrangements, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, sometimes you hear that voice, that little voice, and the voice said, you need to go, and you need to go now. Listen. So I went and had the angiogram, and the procedure was going to take about a half an hour, well, 45 minutes, they had told my staff. And it took over 2 hours. Because before then, the cardiologist had told me, well, if I can't get it through, I'll wake you up and I'll let you know we're going to do open heart surgery. And I just kind of looked at him and said, there's no waking up today. Meaning there's no open heart surgery today. And we just kind of looked at each other and he said, I got it. So he worked that hard to get those stents in. And I had 2 stents placed. The artery was 90 and 90%, 95% blocked. If I had gone any longer, if I had tried to wait that month, I might not be up here now talking to you. So let me do like this, because I'm getting hot. So procedure went well. They put the 2 stents in. You want to stay overnight? No, well, we can keep you for a couple of, nope, going home. So I went home and they took a couple of days, but all of a sudden I could not stop crying. I was just crying. I felt so broken because here I am, Dr. Naima Powell, fellow of family medicine, practicing 30 years, practitioner emeritus, and I'm laid up in this bed with some heart stents. How did that happen? So I needed some prayer, and I recognized it. I needed some spiritual work, and I called someone and poured out my heart and blah, 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 and there was silence after I was done. And the person says, I don't understand. What do you want me to do? You're Dr. Naima. I don't know what to do. You know what to do. And there was silence, and she found, let's just pray. Good thing. So, and it was a powerful prayer, a very hard, powerful prayer. And it awakened something. And I knew, okay, so this area right here needs healing. But there was more that I needed to really reconnect to what was going on with me. So I called another one of my practitioner friends, Reverend Diana Presley. She don't play. So she said, okay, what's going on? And I talked and I told her, and she said, a broken heart. I said, yeah, a broken heart. And then she said, well, yeah, you do know what to do, because I told her what the other person had said. Yeah, you do know what to do. You need to let it go. Let her go. Let them go. Let that blankety blank, blank, blank go. And turn it over to God. Forgive, turn it over to God. And I heard her, and we talked some more, and she said, you got to release this. You got to let it go. Or the next conversation we have is going to be after you have your open heart surgery. So I didn't want that to happen. So I started with my program going back to the basics. And I started a forgiveness list. And it was hard, I have to tell you. Because after I wrote some names and the situation on a paper, my affirmation was, with each name and each situation, I love you, I forgive you, and I thank God for you. That was the hardest thing I had to do with some people on that list. And, sometimes you want to kind of modify it. Yeah, thank God for you, but God gonna take care of you. He gonna get you, and I had to come to a point of releasing all of that. I had to go deep, deep, deep in and touch that divine light, that divine love, and know that with that power, I was able to rise up above it. And what also happened during that time is a lot of other little stuff came up that I thought was behind me. I dealt with you already. What you doing back here? You know, I don't want to. And I said, okay, so that's the problem. Let it come. And do the same thing. Love it. Forgive it. And thank God for it, because it was that experience that brought you here today, that made you the person you are today, that's really enabling me right now to speak on it. And hopefully the words will touch somebody and say, oh, okay, so yeah, I can rise against this, well up from it, and I can emerge, rebirth in Christ, in spirit, in God, and know that all is well, that I am in charge here. So, going through this, I begin to, once again, because the incident that happened back in 2016, and really I've been reluctant to go into as heavily as I did before in my spiritual practice, because at that time I thought I was at the top of my game. And Spirit, as Spirit can do sometimes, said, there's some more that you need to learn here. There's some more that you need to release here. There's some more work I need you to do. You know, so, and you can do it, because I'm going to allow you to rise above this. Okay, so some basics for me as a healer with dis-ease. There are 5 steps or 5 elements to that. Something happens, is either physical or emotional trauma that kind of disconnects us from spirit. And on a mental level, it creates a little cusp of something, some negativity is there. And then on the emotional level, all of a sudden we put all these things to that incident that happens. You know, the anger, the fear, and anger is the children of fear. I call fear and the children of fear, and all that emotion kind of builds up to it. And so you have that little small, and it could be a small disconnect. You have the mental equivalent that comes up that says, oh, because this happened, then I'm this, or that has to happen. And then you have all the emotional overlay that kind of just builds up and builds up and builds up. That, which was like this, and now it's like this, goes into the etheric body. And the etheric body is that very subtle body where disease begins to form. And sometimes it's really subtle. You know, you just know that something is not right. You don't feel good. You're tired. You have a headache. Oh, and I have patients who come, I don't know what's wrong, but something's not right. And your doctor may do $1 million workup, and there's nothing there. You know, and you still come back, and every time, I just don't feel right. Something's not right. And it may be years down the line till what was in the etheric body goes into the physical body and manifests itself as some kind of symptom, some kind of disease that we can hold on to. So, that moves us to the most important aspect in that is when you're feeling that way, is for the alignment to come, and it has to come first in the subtle bodies, in the physical, emotional, and mental bodies. It has to come first. We have to realign that with the spiritual body. And the way to do that is through prayer and meditation. Tapping into that source within, that one source that already knows how to heal what needs to be healed. There's nothing that we have to do but turn it over. But sometimes that can be the hardest thing, because even though we're tapping into that, we know that there's one life, one mind, one power, and that is a divine intelligence, and that divine intelligence is within every cell. We know this on an intellectual level, but actually experiencing it and embodying it on an emotional or physical level is so different. So we have to get to that point of really knowing that, or the symptoms that have gone through the whole line will physically manifest itself. Now, when that happens, with this process, with this disease process, I tell people, and I've said that there are two ways we can deal with it. We can cure the symptoms, and that's really easy. Take a pill, do this, do that. We can cure the symptoms, but that's usually a transient process. If we don't take care of the process that allowed the symptom to manifest itself in the physical body in the first place, the only thing it's going to say is like, oh, okay, well, let me move over here to this part of the body or to this side. And let me manifest somewhere else and give it a little harder time. A healing is long-lasting, because the healing is the process where we change on a very deep spiritual level, when we go deep inside and we change that thought. We reconnect the thought so that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are whole, we are perfect, we are complete. We go into that space of just allowing that divine light, that divine intelligence within us to do the work. And what we need to understand is that God knows how to do his job real good. He does not need us to supervise him on the best way for us to be healed. He does not need, some of us like to micromanage. God doesn't need to be micromanaged. That's that whole thing of us not listening, because we want to do it our way. This is the best way for us to take care of this situation, and that's the way I'm going to do it. That may not be God's way. So we have to get to the point of really, really saying and believing, Father, thy will be done, not mine. And when we get to that point and we release it, we're able to arise above it, because we have already gone, deep down into our spiritual level. We have tapped in, we have said, whew, okay, do your thing. And we allowed spirit, that love and that light within us, to come forth. So when we're able to do that. And it's not an easy thing, but we have to trust. We have to trust that there's a divine truth, a divine intelligence that lives within each and every cell that knows exactly what to do to heal itself. And, and I'm talking more from the physical body, because that's who I am. I'm a physician, so I deal with the physical body, but it goes for any aspect of your life, because the body is broken up into the body temple, your finances, your relationship, that the process, the disease or the wrong thinking can manifest itself in any one of those aspects. So we have to know that as we pray and we meditate and we go deep into that place of knowingness, that it's already done. It is already done. And that's when we embody that concept of being total and completely dependent on God. We move into that God consciousness of knowing that all is well, because it can't be any other way. Because the universe, that universal law, will respond to what we have put out. And if we're putting out that feeling of wholeness, completeness, totality, it has to respond to that. So, and this is not to say that we're not going to have any challenges or everything, or no issues are going to come up with us. Yes, there are going to be challenges and there are going to be issues. But the challenges, and every day we have to make a decision whether the challenge we may face that day, is it going to be a handicap or is it going to be an opportunity? And we should make whatever we face during that day an opportunity to rise up and say, look at me. I am all that I am. God is expressing through me like no other. So there's nothing that this issue or this challenge, whatever it is, can stop me. It can't stop me. There's no thing, no condition, no person that can interfere with your God self. It can't. Because as we know, God cannot be harmed, destroyed in any way, shape, or form. And that's what we have tapped into, that God self, knowing that there is nothing but God. And sometimes it's hard, because we get to a point that no matter how hard we work or how hard we trust, it just seems like, okay, this keeps coming up again and again in different way, different aspect. But when I look at it, it's the same thing, so what am I going to do? And sometimes, and some of you who've heard me heard this before, sometimes you just have to throw up your hands, throw it up and say, fix it, God. I'll know what to do. Fix it. Fix it, Spirit. Fix it, Allah. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Buddha. Whatever you choose to call God, throw up your hands and say, fix it. I'm done. It's in your hands now. Fix it. And when we do that, that's total surrender. That is total surrender. And we allow Spirit then to work without micromanagement. Fix it. I don't know what that's going to look like, but fix it. Okay. So going back, like I said, a cure is getting rid of the symptoms. A healing It's getting rid of the mental idea, the mental equivalent that caused the symptom in the first place and the disease in the first place. The example that I want to give, I had a new patient, a 67-year-old, brand new patient. And because he was a new patient, he had some labs done before he came in, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm looking at his numbers. His blood sugar was 380 something. Okay. His hemoglobin A1C, which is the marker for how well the diabetes is controlled, was over 14, should be below 8, preferably below 7. And his blood pressure in my office was 180 something over 110. And he's sitting there, "How you doing, Doc? I heard good things about you. Nice to meet you." And I'm saying, let's go over these numbers. I'm not understanding, because you have this list of medication here and these numbers. So he says, "Oh, I don't take that medication." And I'm not surprised. I didn't think you were taking it. So he, I say, "Why not?" I'm expecting to hear, "I really don't believe in medication. I'm a naturalist. I'm a herbalist." I hear that. A lot of patients come to me because they know that I support them in that. What he said was, "My father died when he was 65. My brother died when he was 63. All the men in my family die in their early 60s. I'm 67. I'm living on borrowed time. So I'm going to die. I have at the most 3 more years." And I'm looking at him, and he is serious. That was his negative belief, his mental equivalent, that all the men in my family die in their 60s. I'm 67. I don't have much longer to live. Why am I going to take all this medication? I'm going to do what I want to do. So he and I talked. And I said, "Okay, so you have 3 more years in the 60s. So do you want to live those 3 more years being able to walk and talk and do things you enjoy doing, or do you want to live them in a wheelchair because you've had a stroke, or worse, on a ventilator somewhere?" Well, of course I want to do what I continue to do. What I'm doing right now, I want to continue doing that. It's okay. So here's what we're going to do, because he had a list of medication. I'm not going to restart all these medication, because if I did, he would get sick from all the medication. He would just stop taking it. We're going to start with one. We need to get this blood pressure down. We're going to start with this one medication, and then we're going to do some lifestyle changes. You exercise. I can look at you, tell you, "Oh yeah, I exercise, 30 minutes. Good. You're going to exercise hour and a half right now. And those carbs that you're eating to bring your sugar back up, you're going to leave those alone." "Well, I don't eat carbs." Yes, you do. I can look at your numbers and tell you eat carbs. And I know, because I know athletes, sometimes before they work out, they eat a lot of carbs. So I said, so those carbs you eat right before you work out, you're going to leave those alone. So he's looking at me. He said, "Well, and what would happen if I do that? Maybe you'll be the first man in your family to see the 70s. So he agreed, and I told him, "Well, I'll see you back in a month," which is unusual, because usually I say 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. But with him, I know I have to keep an eye on him. So I'm going to see him until I can get that mental belief that he has, I need to change that some kind of way. So he doesn't believe, and you'll be surprised how many people believe that since this happened in my family, then it has to happen to me. No, it does not have to happen to you. So, okay, I'm going to show you this page. It's blank. The only word it says up here is collective consciousness of humanity. And I went back and forth. Am I going to address this or not? And I've decided today, right now, that it would be malpractice if I didn't address what was going on today, right now. The collective consciousness of humanity. That's just like when we talk about the individual body, your body, you need to respect it, take care of it, feed it, keep it in a good environment, et cetera, and let go of those things that can cause disease or illness within the body. That's the same thing with the collective consciousness. That right now, this is my opinion, but right now, the fear has a hold of the collective consciousness of humanity. And this fear has a hold of more people than the people without it. So there's a fear of people that don't look like us, that don't speak like us, that don't think like us, that have different ideas on politics, that don't worship. There's that fear that has turned into hatred and anger and resentment, and it's building up within the collective consciousness until finally something has to give. Now, I'm going to tell you, coronavirus has been around for centuries. And we have lived with it and dealt with it. This strand right here, kicking our butt. And I truly believe it's part of this collective consciousness that is so negative right now. It allows something like COVID to take hold. And if it wasn't the coronaviruses, it would have been one of the other viruses. Okay. It's also allowing places to have earthquakes. 7, 8, 9-point earthquakes. The West Coast is burning up. The deserts are burning up. We're having the worst hurricanes. Every year, it seems to me, it gets worse. There's more destruction, there's more damage, and that's because our collective body of humanity is saying enough. Enough. And these last 5 years, to me, it has come to a point where it's right in our face right now. It's right there. And we have to do something to rise above it. We have to. So for those of us who pray and meditate, it's up to us. When we get into that place of meditation and we're surrounded ourselves, our individual self, with love and light and knowing the presence and feeling good, we have to project that out into the world. If you're having a problem with a certain group of people, you have to project that light onto them. You have to know that that same light within you is within them, regardless of what they look like, what they do, what they think, who they worship. that light, that presence, that universal essence is within them. And you got to awaken that. We have to. There's a wonderful commercial on climate change, and there's these kids doing all different things. And the last kid, he's so cute. He says, I'm 6 years old. You figure it out. And that's so true. It's up to us, the ones that have been enlightened, the one that knows spirit, that knows what spirit can do and knows that this can be transformed. And it can. It's not too late. But in the meantime, and I know some not going to like what I say, but in the meantime, while we're transmuting, transforming this on a very deeper level, go get your vaccine and wear your mask. Bottom line, because this isn't going away anytime soon. So that's my soapbox. As a physician, I had to do it. I had to do it. I'm going to do a process with you. I'm looking at my time, and I know they're going to give me this sign soon. So I'm going to do a little process with you, if you don't mind. And I'm just going to ask you to be still. And let's take 3 deep breaths. And I need you to go into a place that's safe, that you consider safe, whether it's the forest or the beach or your rooftop, wherever you consider safe, go to that place. And just relax and know that all is well. You're divinely protected. And you're going to see someone coming towards you. It's a spirit guide. It can be someone you know, you trust, you love, and that person is going to come to you. They have a little container, and they lay the container in front of you. It is transformed into a beautiful chest. And it opens, it's empty. What I want you to do right now is take that condition, that circumstance, that feeling that no longer serves you, that is heavy on your heart, take it and put it into that box. And if it's more than one, put more than one. It's a big box. And then your spirit guide is going to close that box, lock it, wrap it with some white light, and they're going to sit on it in front of you, and they tell you, I'll take care of this. You no longer have to worry. I will take care of this. And they say, I have a gift for you. Whatever you want, I'm here to give it to you. What is that gift? That's your heart's desire. Receive it. And thank you, Spirit Guide. And your spirit guide puts their hand on your shoulder or your head and says, all is well. God would always be with you. I will always be with you. And I can return this box to you whenever you desire. And they walk off with the box. They're carrying it like it's a feather. And they walk off. And you feel a lightness. You know you've risen above whatever it is. You have risen above it. And just come back. The main thing here is that we have to trust that divine intelligence within us. We have to know that every cell within our sacred body temples have this divine intelligence. We must know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, regardless of the circumstance or condition. We must trust that universal energy, that divine intelligence to do what it needs to do to heal whatever that needs to be healed. Okay, so we're able to rise above it. We're always able to rise above it, regardless of what it may seem. We are able to rise above it. And we can shake it off. We can spiritually shake it off. As we continue to say, Father, thy will, not mine, we shake it off. Okay, we know right now that God's got this. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is, God's got it. Shake it off. Get up, shake it off. You know, and know with me beyond a shadow of a doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And say after me, I am victorious. I am whole, perfect, and complete. I am that perfect emanation of God. I am that perfect idea in God's mind. I am the twinkle in my Father, Mother God's eye. God is always working for my highest and greatest good. God is, I am. I am, God is. Whew. Rise and emerge. Are you bold enough to behold? Are you bold enough to behold? Say it. I'm bold enough to behold. I am bold enough to behold. Okay, let's pray. Father, Mother God, Infinite Spirit, omnipresent, omniactive, omniscient God. We right now surrender. We know that there is only one life, and as we surrender to that life and light within us, we come and we have risen, and we are renewed, rejuvenated in your true image and likeness. We remember who we are. And there is no thing, no person, no condition that can ever make us forget our true identity again. And I give thanks, Father. I give thanks for the opportunity of being able to speak the word of healing for each and every individual here, knowing that regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the condition, you are right there in the midst of it. It is taken care of. And I know that some of you have issues with your heart. Put your hand over your heart and just say, yes, I am open and receptive to receive the love of God in my heart. There's no blockage there. There's no interference there. God is truly all that there is, and God is expressing through me perfectly. And there's someone there that has problems with their liver. I'm knowing for you that whatever it appears to be, it no longer is. Because now every cell within that liver now responds to its spiritual prototype. And it is whole. It is complete. It expresses the perfection of God right now. I speak a word of healing for Marie Stephens, knowing that right now the healing that has already started is being completed in spirit, that she walks freely. There is no limitation on what she can do. God is her healer. God is her physical therapist. God is all that she knows. God is all that her body knows. God is all that our body knows. And we rejoice in that. We rejoice in knowing that whatever the circumstance, whatever the condition, we rise above it and we come out emerged in spirit. Nothing can touch us. Nothing can interfere with our good at all under no circumstance. God is always there working for us. And I understand that God does his best work in the dark, in the silence. Trust that. There's no condition that is greater than God. There's no personal circumstance that is greater than God. God will always be there for us, and God will always overcome. I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. And so I'm able to release this word knowing that it's done. I release it joyously because I know that miracles, healings are happening right now. Right now. That this planet is healed right now. The collective consciousness of humanity healed right now. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. All I say is thank you, God. Thank you, God. Continue to use me. Continue to use us to uplift the consciousness of everyone on this planet. Not only this community, this planet. All is well. All is God. All is good. And we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
For this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this joy, Spirit, thank you for this joy. Thank you for this joy, Spirit, thank you for this joy. This healing joy. This healing joy. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you
Thank you, Jubel, and thank you, Dr. Naima. It's nice to hear your voice and your unique perspective this morning. We have the opportunity now to contribute to the Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Your conscious contributions are the lifeblood of this community and allow us to continue all the amazing things that we do, our music and our speakers, and all the ways that we bring our consciousness into the world. There are 2 easy ways to make your contribution: via text or on our website. To text, just send a text to 951-419-5858 with the amount that you wish to contribute. You can also find links to contribute on our website, riversidecsl.org, in the upper right-hand corner under the tab Contribute. If you feel so moved, please consider an additional conscious contribution to the 2 or more funds that helps maintain our beautiful building and our grounds. If you are texting, simply add the word "more" after the amount you wish to give, specifically to the 2 or more fund, separate from your usual contribution. You will also see a link on our website to contribute to the 2 or more funds. And of course, you can also send a check to the center, and our mailing address can be found on the website as well. We know that we are so very rich and blessed, dripping in love, peace, and joy. Take it away, Jobel.
So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich in love. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love. We have everything we need. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love. We have everything we need. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, rich, so rich we are. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So rich.
I should also mention there is a mirrored vessel in the back by the back doors if you want to put your contribution there on your way out. 2 quick announcements. We have 2 classes coming up. Spiritual Principles with practitioner Dinah Williams. That is starting on Thursdays, starting September 16th. And of course, the awesome class with me, Essential Earnest, starting on Tuesdays on September 14th. If you're interested in either one of those classes or the details, feel free to check out the classes tab on the website. I'm going to invite you to stand as we do our benediction this morning. Place your hand over your heart and say with me, there is something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Wonderful is happening.
It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. And I receive it. Because love lives here. Thank you for joining us this morning.
I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. Love